Welcome back, everyone, to the Insecure audio commentary series here on the Polaris Network. I am the co-founder as well as one of the co-hosts here. My name is Bree Mei-Li. I love Issa Rae, and if you love her too, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment on this video. And I do want to welcome my lovely co-host before we get into episode 8, Choices, okay? So I'll just have you all just introduce yourselves and we'll get right into it.
This is Melissa from According to This Black Girl podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Ashley M.
And Ashley R of Body Art Noir.
And Yakira.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me again for 8 episodes now. It's been a pleasure so far. But this episode, Choices, definitely a fun episode. I don't know if you guys saw, but Issa Rae said this was her favorite episode of the final season. And I could see why, because she got to play around with like different scenarios. But we can start from the beginning with Nathan and Issa. Okay. I like them together. I like the progress they made. But this episode made me realize why I didn't think they were gonna work, you know? And I know in love you have like doubts, especially if you're like dealing with like exes and that baggage. But again, I guess you can tie it in together with the title of this episode, Choices. It's about your choices. You don't have to worry about the, the repercussions unless you like own what you do. But yeah, so we'll start off with Nathan and Issa. I think we've had mixed reviews across the board with their relationship, but how are y'all feeling about it right now?
That move in together started off real romantic, and then when he said we could save money, I was like, right. Gone. It's like, that's not romantic at all, Nathan. Like, you could have said, I really like being here with you. No, we're gonna save money. I was like, oh, you lost me, Nathan. No.
Same. I said the same thing. I said he's trying to save money.
We see your intentions.
Opposite. I am such a save money person that even when I think of it, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make sense for 2 of us to pay rent. Let's, make 2 incomes, live on half, and invest the rest. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he was speaking to the logical folks because LA is.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I think it was clever what they did, the writers, because that is some shit that they really be saying. You be like, really?
No,
but it's like they made them be all lovey-dovey at the beginning, so you be like, damn, why you do that? Like, why you say that stupid shit? Like, you're on the right track,
No, for real. Yeah. Wondering if he buttered her up before. But I think it was genuine. Right? I think it was genuine coming from him, though, in a way. Because she brought it up, though. Issa brought it up, basically live together now. And I guess he just made a joke out of it.
Because he was sleeping on his cousin's couch, remember? And he was kind of like, kind of, I don't like that. That means he has codependency probably.
Issues or something. I'm so glad you said that because I didn't realize that.
I forgot that.
I wish someone would live on the couch tell me we could live together.
Oh, is he still on the couch?
I thought he moved into his own place.
No, he has his own place. He has his own place.
No, he does.
Yeah.
Maybe the rent got a little bit high because his clients got reduced because he stole that one person's client. I don't know.
I think he lived with his cousin before he lived with the friend that Molly was dating.
Andrew. I think Nathan's a little shaky.
Andrew, yeah.
Nathan's not reliable.
Yeah, when he was finding out that he was bipolar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of this episode, it was just mostly in Issa's head. But what was the next scene after that? I think it was...
took me a minute to realize. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Listen, so she went to the block art walk event. That's where we go after there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because then we go into Molly after that scene after. Yeah, so when she's doing the block stuff and she runs to Krayshawn. And, I saw that coming. I saw like him realizing how much of value she offers. And I'm glad that happened. But now, Issa's in her head after that.
The business aspect of it he didn't have, but I love the way he came to her and was like, that was my bad, I was tripping, like an apology, excuse me, what's her name, an apology.
We're still back on Condola not apologizing.
Condola, an apology. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you guys think that would be a good partnership with them, like Issa just accepting the apology and moving forward?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think what's his name, Crenshaw, I don't think he really needed Issa Rae to like get to that next level. I think he maybe needed something else about Issa Rae, because he was passionate enough to like do what he was going to do regardless at that show. I don't think like just because he's reckless, like sometimes that's good, and Issa Rae did have a hard time throughout all these seasons, like being that bold person to go after what she wanted, and he had that automatically. And I think when he challenged that position she had felt she reached already, it was like, wow, like, but it's like you kind of just got to go for it and like forget the emotional part. Like, yeah, he apologized, let's get through it, we're all grown, but that could be opportunity for you to grow.
They need each other though, because he needs her. He don't know nothing about permits, he don't know about spacing, like he needs her.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's a moment for a pause for me, just because of how it all shook out, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, your apology is cool, but we really need to talk about boundaries. We really need to talk about how we are going to handle business, and if there are some disagreements, how we disagree with each other. Because I think that would be a space where I'm not 100% sure I can trust you, because you've already shown me that you will throw me under the bus. You will put me out there. Like, she was only able to go back and rebook those people that kind of felt iffy about it, because they even mentioned that the guy who, I don't know, for lack of a better thing, the white guy, he was like, I'm glad you were able to pull them in. They're so cool, So she did the work to rebuild portions of that reputation. So I think if she is to go forward, there has to be a clear conversation about how we handle one another.
Yeah, I agree. I think with what she's trying to do, because she was battling between going with like the market folks, like the white people, and then him. I think deep down she knows that Crenshaw would be like the best, because I think that's where her passion is calling her, because she does have that heavily influence in the community. But she has that that first class, that nice outfits, that whole like 180 that you saw with her taking that deal with like the other people. But she had that like regret but she had regret in both scenes, which was interesting though. And it was funny seeing that, because it's like when she's like, she took the deal with Crenshaw, and she's like, she's living below her means, and she was like, I should want better for myself. But then on the other hand, she's living first class tickets, a beautiful house, but she has that regret. Like, she feels like she kind of like is not in the community like she wants to be. So that was interesting seeing that dynamic. And
I love that. I love the fantasy, and they did such a good job with holding on to it. For it, I was like, wait, is this real? No, she's daydreaming. No, wait, maybe this is real. So I really love that they evolved this daydream of hers enough to trick me for just a moment, to be like, oh, okay, no, she's really daydreaming again.
I was absolutely tricked.
Same. That's what I was saying. Yep.
Lawrence took me out of it.
Yeah, I'm so glad it was a daydream. I was kind of getting upset. I'm like, this better not be Issa. Did she really do this? I'm like, did she straighten her hair? Like, because she's been natural for the entire,
That stood out.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that really.
I don't like this. No, what is she doing?
Oh, see, when you said the straightening the hair thing, and then she like goes out to like the sellout. Am I really a sellout? That was interesting, because I think she was at that.
But yeah, that double consciousness, especially like with people, like she went to Stanford, and like I think it's cool that she's like touching on that period, because a lot of people like that come from that type of education do move out of the predominantly Black areas out here. But for her to like really like be like, no, it's a daydream, or you know,
Yeah. I love the fact
yeah,
that she asked Nathan, like, when did we move here? And like that why
yeah,
of just trying
yeah,
to
makes
grapple
sense.
with what this looks like, because obviously in that particular daydream, she's obviously not working with Crenshaw. And I love this callback to Ty Dolla. Like every time we're like, what is going on here? Like
Season 1.
He's dope. He's LA.
That's true.
I like that she had Tyra Banks on there.
Inglewood.
Oh, yeah.
Inglewood
Right.
native, yeah.
Is Tyra Banks from Inglewood?
Yeah. Yeah, she's from
Oh,
Inglewood.
cool. I didn't know that.
Me either.
I'm sure she's from the west side of Centinela though, which is like, you know, there's different parts of Inglewood. There's like, you know, the lower and the higher or whatever. But yeah, interesting.
Oh wow. There's still so much I need to learn about LA in itself.
But she showed a lot of like Leimert Park and stuff, like a lot. The Soul Folks banner that they showed, that's like a business they sell like Black entrepreneurs work and stuff out of their building, all that stuff.
So
Leimert Park.
You know that place where she was supposed to do that I guess that pop-up was that Crenshaw place? Was that in downtown Inglewood? I think I've seen that.
That
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
At first I thought that was where We Got Y'all was at. Like, and like she was gonna take over that place. But I have to go back. At first I thought that was the building, but I was like, wait, maybe not.
No, it was definitely in Inglewood. So the second place where she was working with Crenshaw is definitely in Inglewood. It's like right across it's like close to the Scientology place. So it's right across there.
Oh,
I was
I know
like,
what you're
oh, I
talking about.
recognize. Yeah, it was right behind because I recognized the stores behind it. I was like, yes.
So I don't know if this is a stretch, but do you think if she like continues to work with like the white guy, that would be an extension of We Got Y'all, and you know she didn't like working that capacity, like white people being in like, you know, telling what minority people is what's best for them in their community? There's like parallels to that at all?
I didn't necessarily pick that up, but I mean, I think that's an interesting point to bring up. Because, but I do think that one of the things that makes Issa so dope in real life is that she is super committed to what she's doing. And she, you know, regardless of what the advice has been, she's like, no, I'm gonna do it this way. And, you know, and I think that Issa in real life would be able to navigate that just as she's ultimately navigated, or shall I say on the show will ultimately figure out how to navigate it.
Right. Yeah, because at the end of the day, Molly did say that really did hit home. Like, whatever decision you make, just own it, and you don't have to worry about the shame behind what you feel.
Yeah. And I also think that she can like mesh those two fantasies that we saw and make it her own. I think they were showing us the absolute extremes. Like she's working with Crenshaw, but she's living in a house with a pink toilet, or she's, you know, or she's out with NBW and hasn't been back to LA in how many years. You know, I think she can bring those two together. She was just looking at the extremes. And I'm hoping that's what comes up is that's what she's able to do.
That's what I was wondering. I figured she can work both, but you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think because she definitely gave me Molly vibes in this episode. I'm like, okay, Issa. Okay.
I love how when she entered spaces, I love how they changed the wardrobes. Like probably
nice.
3 or 4 times. Like, because then again, it gives the element, because we've already had the time jump once before, that it was like, wait, is this a time jump? Wait, you know, I mean, I think right now, because we're so close to the end, I'm looking for everything. Like, oh, what is this? What is that? But I do love how they swapped clothes at least 4 times and just kind of like giving so much depth. It felt long. Like we were watching, it was like, is this longer? Even though it wasn't, but it felt like they packed so much into this episode.
Yeah, it looked like a feature film whenever they did the flash forwards. It looked like something like from The Photograph.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. Just like you could see, like I think her character growth in those like time jumps definitely more confident than when she was like starting out, which I really appreciate.
What is her assistant's name again?
See,
Help me.
what is that?
Koya.
Koya.
Oh my goodness. I love the one where she is like, Koya's directing, Marcus speaker, whatever their name is. So I was like, yes, girl, you better get them in order. Get them all in order.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's just a staple person. Like I love Koya, if that is her name. I love the fact that she told Crenshaw she got that piece on. I usually don't fight my brothers, but I will.
Mm-hmm.
And she carries that piece. So let me let you know, that's the kind of person I would like to have in my corner. So I love that they just kept her, and she's growing.
Mm-hmm. Good people. Like you can already tell. Like no hidden. I don't see any hidden agenda at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the scene with Molly and her family?
That
An important conversation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's tough. I have had to deal with that, and it's tough, especially being that person. They're like, "Why are you gonna bring that up?" And it's like, "Look, it's something we have to do." And then they'll be like, "I don't want to talk about it." I was like, and so I get Molly, and then I think just them talking about it, like you think about it, right? But then when I'm assuming Kelly's going through everything, then it really gets like in your head, like they could be gone, and especially after what she dealt with her mom,
Yeah.
and she can't express that feeling in front
Yeah.
of them. She has to
Yeah.
wait till she's by herself. At least that's what she feels. So
Yeah.
She has to
it's
still
tough.
be strong. She has to feel like she still has to be strong in front of her
Right.
family. But I like that she answered the phone when Torian called, and he could tell that she was upset. Like she didn't just like send him to voicemail until she got herself together. Even though she tried to be strong on the phone, she still let him in that moment that she was upset.
Yeah.
So character developed for Molly. I'm all here for it.
Agree. I love the fact that Kelly is a part of this. This is Kelly's profession. I think she again brings that levity to this very tough conversation. I love the end of it. Like when she's leaving and she's making her comments about Denzel and so on and so forth. It does really, I think you kind of need somebody to help lighten that load. And I'm glad that Kelly was there in that capacity.
Yeah, I really love that. Oh my gosh, if Kelly does take that as a career path for herself, that she would be helping so many people.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because I can imagine, because I feel like death is like something people don't even want to think about, and I think like having someone more like not so serious with such a serious matter really does help lessen the load. But I can't even imagine. I felt uncomfortable watching it, honestly.
Yeah.
Have to that makes it more
And
real.
and not only just planning your estate, but then I think that the part that kind of hits home and that's a thought process is like when the father is talking about, I've worked so long and I feel like I have nothing to pass on and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That can feel very real because life is really different. You don't plan, even though technically you should be planning for these types of emergencies. But honestly, the way that, our economy is set up and everything, it's really hard to go forward and have those things. And especially when you have an emergency like what just took place in their family, which depletes those funds much faster than I think you ever really think that they will. So just that part that probably even feels a bit embarrassing, that it is very real when most people, have to have that conversation about money.
Yeah, especially with Molly being like the educated person in the family that knows about all these things that need to be done. Like sometimes, like some people, like with like example for my mom, like just making sure she had a good job, she had food on the table, had a house, but the whole retirement things like that, like stocks, nobody was able to like provide, give her that education of those things to plan for the future. It was just like making sure her kids got, she paid her bills and her kids are getting fed and going to school. Right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people that are like that and they don't know about the options they have financially. And so I really hope Kelly does, do it, like do something related to that and kind of help people figure out their estate and also what financial options they have to, invest and do better, do more with their money.
Yeah, and I think it's a deeper conversation, like financial literacy, especially in the Black community in itself. And that definitely needs to be more, more, there needs to be more knowledge spread on it, especially for like communities that don't have like access to that knowledge. Because I know I only know bits and pieces because, my uncle like loves that stuff. So he would like share what he knows with me. And I'm like, dang, I didn't know any of this. I still don't.
Yeah. Can we talk about how cute Torian was at the end? Though?
Yes, that was so
wings and wine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like
a whole grown
so
man moves.
cute.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the fact that he didn't take it personal. Like,
Mhm.
like it was one of those things where, like you said, that it was, you could tell something was wrong, and just to be like, oh, it's okay, no worries, and just to be thoughtful. Like,
Right.
it doesn't take that much. I mean, if there are guys out there listening, like it really does not take that
Little
much
things.
to just brighten your girl's day,
Mm-hmm. Yes, that initiative, yes, I'm all for it.
He's a full grown man. We're Team Torian over here, as everyone can hear.
Yes, I don't think anyone's not Team Torian at all. Because I liked Andrew back then, but I like Torian more, kind of. But Andrew was that can be a whole another conversation, that Andrew and Molly dynamic. But I
was gonna say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna agree that and it was a different Molly too. So I think if Andrew had came back at this level of Molly, maybe they would have lasted. Maybe it would have been something else. But this growth on Molly and where Torian is a really good fit.
Exactly. I think they're both like on the same like frequency together. So that is that, yeah. Go Molly. What was the last? Oh, okay. So we have to talk about the end with Lawrence popping up.
Oh shoot, we didn't even talk about him popping up throughout the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew I it's so obvious that Issa still had feelings for him because they spent like almost a decade together. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Like Issa shouldn't feel bad that she still has these feelings with Lawrence because of course they're gonna be there. Like that was her person for years. But I don't think she should base that on, the relationship currently unless she truly feels deep down that she wants to be with him because the kid thing was, at that moment it was like really huge, and like how is she going to have a relationship with someone with with a kid knowing that? But I think it's just about choice, like again the title of it, just about choices. But I don't think she should feel bad for having feelings for Lawrence, but I feel like she needs to make a choice on what she wants more.
Well, I think the thing that I found, oh sorry, you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead.
I think the thing that's most interesting is the fact that it is choices and that it's being reinforced, especially Molly saying, own your choices. Like this is something we're getting a little bit more as we get more into this season. So I really hope that obviously I think they're gonna wrap it up whichever way they want to wrap it, but I don't know. I still feel so conflicted when it comes down to it because I think my thing is you've made this path and you've decided to go down this road with Nathan. And not to say that people don't change their mind because clearly they do. I'm just like, yo, like I'm feeling for Nathan. I'm just like at the end of the day, he's gonna be left there holding portions of his heart. Like
yeah. I mean, I'm just here to see how it plays out because I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. I don't even know what I want to happen.
So. Part of me thinks that like her thinking of Lawrence is also just because maybe in the past when she thought about her future, he was always in that, and so so maybe that's why he also was popping up, just because I guess like remember that one episode where she thought about them getting married and having a kid, and so maybe it's just something that it just never also just left because it's been something that she's probably been dreaming about for years.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I didn't realize that too. That's very valid. Now the dreams forward has changed drastically now because she's a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next episode should be interesting. Do you see the preview?
So ready. I am so ready.
Yeah, honest. Okay, yeah. This one I like the last episode more than this one, but well, no, I think okay. I'm just gonna be quiet because I don't know.
You're just working it out right now.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I gotta work it
You're
out.
working through it. Oh my goodness. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm curious to see what that dynamic is to get everybody in the same room. Like, I mean, have y'all ever been in a space where you're with your ex and your current in the same room?
Yeah. Yes, it's weird. It's really weird.
Very.
Yep.
And you know she's awkward, so I want to see what kind of little tidbits of awkwardness that we're going to be in store for next week.
If
So
she raps, I'm gonna die. If she starts rapping, I'm dead. But
no,
that's not the rap. Out of every time.
Or no, I shouldn't. In case I throw your baby. I'm just
that. Oh my goodness. Your bars are weak, but not that. Oh my God. No, yeah, I love rapping Issa. And the person in the mirror, the voice in the back of your head.
You're the voice in the back of my head. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss those mirror scenes, honestly, when the series is over. Like, that was the end of an era.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But I'm excited for next week. Mm-hmm. Do you think that there's going to be an immediate conflict between Nathan and Lawrence, or do you think there could be one?
I don't think so, because Issa hasn't brought Lawrence up around Nathan, so that I've heard, which is good. So I think it won't be any conflict. I think Lawrence would be the only one like feeling the burn, kind of, because Issa did reach out to him, but I don't think Nathan has any like, feelings. I honestly, I really
because they did much. I think that they did, they did that little scene where he's like, oh, Issa's ex is in there. And whoever, other dude is like, I don't like that. So I'm curious to see if that becomes a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait. And then it's only 2 more episodes left.
Listen, can they make these last 2 really long? I need them to be longer. I need more time.
Like
okay,
an hour. We need an hour. Come on.
Just an hour finale. That's all we ask.
Absolutely.
The creators and the writers. Prentice Penny, yes, you too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, do you all have any last final thoughts for this episode?
I just have one. Shout out to the University of Michigan. I saw it up on the screen, my school.
Okay.
I was like, all right, Issa, I see you. But no, I loved that they did both of those extremes. And I just know that they're going to bring it all together at the end. And she's going to make the dope choice for her life and her bank account.
Yeah. I'm just rooting for her happiness. And I think we all do at the end. Mm-hmm. Like, I just want Issa to feel good about all her decisions.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, ladies. Thank you again for joining, and thank you to everyone else that's listening to us talk about our thoughts and opinions on Insecure. If you have any, please comment below. But we will be back here next week at the same time on Sundays, right after Insecure, the unofficial after party.
Hey.
Thank y'all, and I will see you guys next week.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.